player of the week's talking in there. So
there we go.
Should I raise my hand?
Yeah. Floor recognizes Dick Rhodes.
Just begin with Stephen Gostkowski. News just came out that he's going in reserve with having hip surgery. Just what has he meant to this franchise, to you as you watch him? Patriots have had 3 kickers in the bill.
yeah, I mean, all-time great. I think because of Slate, always being like the special teams captain. I think maybe sometimes the outside world doesn't know how much he means to our special teams unit and to, us as a team. I think for me, just the stability of that position, we never waver if there's a kick on the line, kickoffs, playing against tough returners. Sometimes the best thing to stop a tough returner is Steve kicking the ball out of the end zone. So he's meant a lot to this team, obviously, for the whole time I've been here. And obviously you see a lot of that in the record books and all of that, where he has a lot of records for this franchise. But I always speak on how much he means to the locker room. Always keeping it light. He's the best at every little thing and tournament we do in the locker room. So he'll definitely be missed throughout the year of just having his presence in there.
Has he been an ease on your mind in those, you mentioned pressure situations? I've been talking to you guys at the Super Bowl, you were talking about points on the board. It's him and Tom, and they've pretty much seen every pressure situation possible. Has there been an ease on your mind when he's out there?
Oh, definitely. When Steve, like I said, I've been a part of a lot of game-winning, drives for the offense. I remember Baltimore, my rookie year, of going back and forth with them, and it comes down to Steve. At the end of the game, kicks a game winner. In 2015, we're playing the Giants, tough game. Steve goes out there, kicks a game winner. In Oakland, when he kicked that long field goal, well, it was in Mexico City, but that long field goal, you saw the whole team run on the field. And I think that's because, we know that's what he's capable of, and that's what he does in so many, so often for us as a team. That they always say you don't know how much you need a kicker until you come in those situations and you don't have a guy that you know is going to come and deliver. And I think at times for players we get spoiled sometimes when you have a guy like that that's kicked for so long and it's been so good.
So how do you go from, because it's unlike any position probably outside the quarterback on the field where they're by themselves most of the time when they practice. So how do you go from putting another guy in that position and saying, okay, we still have the faith in you like we had in Steve? And it's hard to because he's been there forever.
But it's like all other positions. It builds. I think I don't care how good a player is that comes in here. You don't build that true trust until you get out there and you start repping. And even though they're not out there running and doing reps with us in practice, we always see, Steve kicking, and we do our periods where we're doing field goal and batter. So that trust starts to build, and you get to know each other. I think a lot of trust is done even off the field when you get to know guys and you see their story, you understand what they're about and what playing on a team means to them. I think a lot goes into that you don't always see, from the outside looking in on game day or the beginning of practice and different times like that. But I think that builds a true camaraderie and trust between guys out there.
Devin, you have 4 picks already this year. Is there a reason why you're finding the ball more regularly, or is it just kind of finding you?
The ball's finding me. I think I think a lot of, I was talking to Malcolm Jenkins last night, and he texted me, he's like, man, you got 4 interceptions. I was like, yeah, man, for a lot of years, the ball didn't find me a lot, and you could be in good position, you could play good football, but the ball doesn't find you. And then sometimes, you go out there and, Steph tips one to me. I got an overthrow. I got another overthrow, and then one where the quarterback never saw me. So I wouldn't say they're like the hardest plays you ever make in your career. But sometimes you keep putting yourself in the right position, the ball will find you. Sometimes it doesn't. But you just got to keep trying to play good football. And, I think me having interceptions shows how good this unit is. I'm able to play a lot of things just on being free and knowledge because our corners are so good. I don't have to worry about anything. I have complete faith in what they're doing, and I think a lot of us being on the same page allows us to do some things out there as a group that you can't always do unless you have a lot of guys that are studying film together and smart enough to go out there and try to do some things.
Devin, are you in a nice combination right now between your physical ability and your experience and understanding for that sort of thing? Is that a nice crossroads to be at, that combination for you?
I feel like that. I doubt a lot of people think 32-year-olds are at a nice combination, but I feel pretty good. So I like how you put that. If you don't mind, just keep telling the coaches and stuff that too.
Could you comment on Terry McLaurin as a vertical threat that you'll be facing this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, he caught a deep one against Philly over the top. What is that, I think 3 touchdowns already. So he's definitely a guy we got to be aware of all throughout the field, because even when they get into the red area, he's one of the top targets down there. He caught a post against Chicago where he just was able to bang it in there, and Keenum snuck it in between the corner and the safety. So he's a guy you got to be very aware of, even though a rookie. A guy that they're targeting, not just, on post routes and nines, but they found him on some over routes, just running from strong to the weak side of the defense. So just understanding where he is. And I think because of his speed, I also run some shorter routes with him, because obviously, 2-3 games into the season, people start to know, all right, where 17 is, this guy can really run. So I'm sure we'll see him do some different things because, like I said, it's only been 3 games. He didn't play last week. But I think they're probably still figuring out all the things he can do. But obviously you can see he's a pretty dynamic player that we're going to have a heightened awareness of.
How much do you not want? Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on Kyle Van Noy in the Player of the Week honors? And I saw you walking by his locker room.
As a person or as a player?
Let's start as a player, and then we'll go into a person.
As a person first.
It's awesome to see. I think for me, KV came in here, and, it's always tough. You come to a team kind of in the middle of the year, and then when he first got here, then Jamie gets traded, and now it's like Kyle Van Noy's here to replace. So we always joke with him about when he first got here, but to just see his growth as a player, to be able to play outside linebacker, defensive end, inside linebacker, he plays so many different roles for us defensively. We're not really surprised when he goes out there and has a game like that. Very similar to the game he had last time we were in Buffalo last year, of just being all over the field, making plays. So I think it's great for him. We count on his leadership. We count on his communication on the field. And when we're able to have him, Hightower, Jamie, Bentley, E-Rob, like all those guys have been the main communicators out there for us at some point in time defensively. So when we have a combination of all of them out there on the field, it helps a lot from, defensive line all the way back to the safety. So I'm not surprised by the honor, because I think he's been playing great football for a while for us. So I think it's awesome for him to get the recognition, because he really cares about that kind of stuff.
Final question, guys.
As a person, he's a very weird dude. I'm sure you guys know it, but once you get to know him, he's a pretty cool guy, and his wife's cool, so she helps him out a little bit. Appreciate it.